In the king water.
A distant roar cut through the dry wind like a blade as Ranger Ethan Cole stopped on the edge of Horseshoe Canyon in southern Utah. It wasn't just a sound of dominance, it was broken, desperate. He scanned the steep cliffs with binoculars, and then he saw it. Halfway down a narrow ledge, a large male lion lay crumpled against the rock wall. Its front leg was twisted unnaturally, blood streaked down its mane, and one eye, and the only one it could still open, was locked on Ethan. It didn't growl, it didn't move. It simply stared up at him with a haunting stillness that froze the air. Lions didn't belong here, not in Utah. This wasn't Africa. But there he was, a lone king of nowhere, dangling between life and death. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. Poachers? Illegal exotic transport gone wrong? No time for theory. He knew that ledge. It was 30 feet down with a vertical drop on 3 sides. No trails, no second chances. The lion had perhaps hours to live. He called for backup, but his phone had no signal in the canyon. He'd have to do this alone. Rushing back to his ATV, Ethan grabbed a coil of rope, carabiners, his harness, and a thick tarp. His hands worked from instinct. Years of search and rescue training locked into place. The sun beat down as he secured the rope to a thick rock pillar and began rappelling inch by inch toward the lion. The closer he got, the more he could hear the heavy, strained breaths. The lion didn't move, didn't flinch. Just watched him with that one eye, blinking slowly, as if already surrendering to fate. Ethan touched the ledge. His boots hit stone, and dust puffed upward. He crouched low, holding out a gloved hand. Still no movement. The lion was alive, but barely, and it had no idea Ethan was about to try to save its life. Ethan worked quickly, sweat already soaking his back despite the cool canyon breeze. The lion's leg was dislocated and swollen. Its breathing had grown more ragged, chest heaving in irregular bursts. He knew the animal couldn't climb, couldn't walk. It would need to be lifted. He wrapped the tarp around its torso and chest, careful not to press too hard on the wounds. The lion's fur was matted with blood and dust. Its side rose and fell in jerky motions. But it never growled. It never lashed out. It only watched. There was something in the way it gazed at him. Not submission, but something closer to trust. A silent, ancient recognition of intent. Ethan whispered a few calming sounds, not expecting the lion to understand, just needing to fill the void of silence between them. He secured the tarp with climbing knots, threading rope through handles and looping it through a makeshift pulley he rigged above the ledge. His arms trembled as he began hoisting the weight inch by inch, muscles screaming in resistance. The lion groaned faintly but stayed limp, trusting the hands of a stranger. The rope creaked against the rocks. The wind picked up, whistling through the gorge like a warning. But Ethan didn't stop. He climbed alongside the lion, guiding it from below, breath sinking with the animals in short, painful bursts. When they finally reached the rim, Ethan collapsed beside the lion, dirt in his teeth, blood on his forearms from rope burns. The lion lay still, half draped in tarp, its eye barely open. He stared at the beast. And then it blinked, not in fear, not in pain, but in recognition. Ethan sat in the shade of a pine tree as the lion rested a few feet away, breathing slowly, more evenly now. The vet team hadn't arrived yet, but the immediate danger had passed. The lion's head was upright, scanning the wind, ears twitching, its body still weak, but spirit somehow whole. Ethan stood and slowly stepped closer. The lion watched him rise, then, shockingly, pushed itself to its feet. Wobbly, yes, but upright. And then the lion did something that stopped Ethan cold. It took one shaky step forward and pressed its massive forehead gently against Ethan's thigh. The gesture was brief, soft, and gone as quickly as it came, but it carried the weight of an ancient language, one older than words. Then the lion turned. With surprising resolve, it began walking toward the forest's edge. No limping, no hesitation, just purpose. At the tree line it paused, turned its head, and looked back. Their eyes met across the distance, ranger and rescued. a gaze too deep for logic, too real for doubt. Then the lion disappeared into the trees, leaving only broken pine needles and a single paw print in the dust. Ethan stood there a long while, longer than he realized. The wind quieted, the air settled, his body ached, but inside something had cracked open. A new kind of silence had entered his life, one filled not with absence, but with understanding. Dear friend, thank you for taking the time to watch the whole video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support our mission. Goodbye and see you in the next episodes.